take a look at those yummy donuts that will be going on the cake. And so basically just trying to apply and spread. See what I'm doing. I'll take some and then I'll spread it out. I'd always make sure to finish a part before moving to the next part. I don't just like go all the way around. So once I'm done with this side, I then move to the next side in like a sequence, so that at least you can gain control of how you're covering the cake. So at this point, all I'm doing is just, you all can see that as I'm spreading it, I'm not pressing into the cake, so I'm not poking the sides of the cake. I'm just applying and then I'm spreading it out. So if you can tell from my hand, I'm not even holding the palette knife too tightly. See? Always make sure that the bottom side of your palette knife always touches the bottom. So that when you're spreading on it, you can see that. So just keep going. So that you don't have parts of the cake bottom side, some jumping up and some not well covered. We're just almost done now. Yeah. I hope you all are still with me. If you are still watching me, just let me know in the comments by typing donuts. Yeah, donuts. If I see that, I'll know that you all are following me and you are learning. So I'm almost done covering the cake now. Remember I told you earlier that the major part of a cake decoration, to get it right, is the structure. You can see how many minutes it took me to just cover this cake now. I'm not even sure it's up to 5 minutes. But when it comes to layering and trimming, that's where it gets a little bit painstaking. But with constant practice, you know that it will only get better. You will get faster at it. So even if you see me working on it right now and it feels like I'm moving too fast or I'm moving too fast, it's because I've mastered it over the years and I'm able to work on it in literally minutes to still achieve something good enough. And always make sure that when you're covering your cake, always make sure to add like an overlap at the edges for the cream, so that when you're combing the cake with the scraper, they just automatically push up, and then it's easy for you to have better edges that way. When you have the edges, so by the time you just go over it, you just have better edges and it's easier for it. If you decide to have sharp edges, this is a good way to make sure you have sharp edges. And for this cake, I'm not even going to have sharp edges because I'm going to be dripping. I'm going to be pouring chocolates over it from the center all the way to the side. So the edges might not be very significant here, but for the purpose of other times when you need to decorate a cake and you're very big on the edges, make sure that you have your edges like this, just the way it looks now, overlapped, so that it's easy for you to just sweep it out and get your edges. So that's what we have. So now at this point, I'm done covering the cake. By the time I'm combing around the sides of the cake, if I see any indentations or any gaps, then I'll fill them up just very quickly. Okay, so at this point, I'm going to be using this particular scraper. It's a stainless steel scraper to get the sides smooth as possible, right? So I'm just going to get a good control of it like this, and then I just simply give it a clean sweep. Remember I told you that if I have any indentations, rather than just keep going and going, I will just take some more cream and fill up those pieces just like this, right? Like this, so that by the next time I'm going over it, it will just be smooth. Yes, something like that, like this. So I will just hopefully go over it one more time. I'm trying to clean it now because, well, it's clean again, so I'm going over it one more time, hopefully one more time. All right, and that's it, guys. It looks smooth enough, but I am not stopping there. I will then go ahead to get the edges, I mean, even if not sharp, but they'll be cleaned out. So I always go from behind. So I start like this. So for every sweep, I clean off the excess on a towel, and then I continue from that same spot I stopped. I remove the excess and then clean it to give me another clean palette knife. I go again. So I just keep repeating that process till I get right back to the spot where I started, like this. Yeah, keep like this, right, like this, right, and like this. Okay, so after this, did you think I was done? Nah, this is where it gets interesting. So now I'm done with my canvas now, so I'm going to take just a bit of this softened sprinkles, this one right here. I would go ahead to splash it all over the cake. Okay, something like this. I most deliberately picked the softened one. If you notice that I divided it into two, I have the softened one and I have the original type. So the softened one would blend in, or rather melt in more easily into the cake sides. Okay, so the idea is to have this all blending in. I deliberately didn't want to mix this into the cream from the beginning, just because I wasn't able to determine how much I would need to give it the effect I want. So I just decided that I will just cover the cake first, add the sprinkles afterwards, and then comb it one more time. So that's what I'm going to do now. So before I comb it now, I'm just going to try and blend it in. See that? Just blend it in no particular order, because I'm going to scrape it anyways. So all this has to show. Let me add more. Just add more. So I just keep going. See, so the idea is for it to show just like faintly. So then the next thing I'm going to be doing now is to pour the dark chocolate. Now before I do that, I will try and glaze the donuts first so that they can start setting before I knead them very shortly. So I'm going to be using white chocolate, real white chocolate, as well as the dark chocolate to coat the ring donuts. Just going to pour this into a flatter place so that it's easier to get control of it. And then I'll also do that with the dark chocolate. I already mixed it and melted it behind camera. So something like this, yeah. So I'm going to be saving this for the glaze over the cake. I'm going to be saving this for the glaze over the cake. So all you need to do is just to get your donuts like this. This is the chocolate. Just give it a quick dunk like this. Alright, see that? And then you just drop it carefully. That's why I have to do it ahead of time, so it can set before I need it. You can even pop this into the fridge very briefly if you're in a hurry, so that you can make sure to get all the edges correctly. So if you're in a hurry, you can easily just pop this into the fridge so it can set faster than waiting. So it's not typically designed to be also, it's just supposed to see that. So that right there is how to glaze donuts. And don't forget not to get carried away, because once you glaze it, it gets dried up pretty fast. So you want to pour your sprinkles over it almost immediately you glaze it. But I feel like this is still fine, so let me go ahead to just try it with the white chocolate like this. Another dunk. Right. Yeah, that's it. Then you drop it and allow it to set. Another one. I'm just going to do this till I'm done with all the donuts. Just do this in no particular order. Make sure to start on time so that your donuts don't get dried up with the glaze before you apply the sprinkles, so that everything doesn't just start falling out. So this is the perfect time to do that. Keep going. So what I have remaining is going to be for the cake. So I'm going to be popping this into the fridge just for a few minutes, because you know it's chocolate, right? So it gets really dried up pretty much fast. So at this point now, I'm done glazing my donuts, and I can tell you can see how so pretty they look. At this point, this is the dark chocolate already melted. I'm just going to go ahead to pour this over the surface of the cake, and then it's going to run around the sides of the cake. Whenever you're making this kind of design, you always need to have a little extra so that you don't get stranded halfway. You know it's chocolate, and if it doesn't get coated first time, if you're trying to apply it the second time, it's going to look not as nice. So now I'm just going to go now from the center. I'll just pour. So I think I have enough now, so I'd prefer to use this so it gets distributed before it hardens. So you see, but ensure not to pour it too much so it doesn't pour too much. Try and make it how do I explain it? Let it just drop gently, but make sure to work fast, because by the time you don't work fast, once it starts setting, you start seeing the imprint of the spoon or whatever instrument you're using to apply the drips. Then it makes it look not as flawless as you would have wanted it to look. So you can always look at it and decide if the drips is enough for me. So I just keep going like this because I want it to be more. Yeah, so I just do this. See, that's the reason why it's very important to pour enough. So you can actually still drop on the board, but make sure that it's just a single pouring. Otherwise, it might not look just as appealing as you intend it to be. Yeah, so that's it.